Hello, what's up? And welcome to another episode of Moba Dojo, episode 2, covering roles, which is going to be jungler this time. As I stated before, the only role videos that are probably going to get a thorough explanation is probably going to be either mid and support because I'm not confident enough in my roles as an AD carry, a solo laner, and especially a jungler to give, an accurate thorough explanation on how the role's supposed to work and how you should do it, tips and tricks. So, alright, moving on. So I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, show you the junglers we have at the current time of the recording, and then explain how the role works, how it's supposed to work, on a baseline value, and then we're going to see some gameplay to try and give you a taste of the experience. Alright? Alright. Alright, so now this is one thing I will say. In any MOBA, you don't have to stick to that role. That's kind of like there is no rule. There is no actual rule that says you have to play a support character in support. Alright? So, but unless you're good enough to pull it off, these characters are made specifically to handle the support role. So, this goes for any role, really. You can take any character anywhere, but if the character isn't meant for that role, you're not gonna have a good sign. Okay? Okay. So, with that being said, we're gonna start off with Countess, who is typically a mid laner and an off laner, but can also, I've also seen people take her in the jungle. So, don't think she's all that. She's more of an end game jungler if we're gonna take her in the jungler, because it takes her a while to scale up because of her ability. She's very AOE based, so her takedown her passive is Blood Tithe. Hero takedowns permanently grant 2% magical lifesteal, stacking up to 10 times. Her basic attack is basic attack, it's a swing and a miss. Blade Siphon, her alternate ability. Countess spins and strikes all enemies targets around her, dealing XYZ magic damage to each person, and healing herself for XYZ damage per percentage per target hit. Against heroes, the healing is increased by 400. This is another AoE attack. We talked about that in the last video. Shadow Slip, her primary ability. Blink to a nearby enemy target, dealing XYZ magical damage, and is slowed by 40% for 2.5 seconds. Minions and non-epic monsters receive 3 times more damage. Countess leaves behind a shadow at her original position, re-triggering the ability within 3.5 seconds of cast time will return her to the shadow's location. So it's basically like you teleport to an area, and if you hit the teleport button again within that time frame, you can immediately go right back to where you started. Her next ability is called Eventide. Send out a cloud of darkness, dealing XYZ magic damage to enemy targets within its path. So that's like another straight directed AoE attack. Her ultimate ability is Feast. Leap to a nearby enemy hero, forcing them to face Countess and suppress them for 0.5 seconds. 0.7.5, whatever, you get it. After the duration, Countess deals XYZ magic damage plus percentage blah 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 of the target's maximum health, magical damage to the target, and heals herself for 40% of the damage dealt. Moving on to Crunch. He likes to punch. He's the punchy boy. So, Crunch is the first actual, role selected jungler. His passive starts with Crush Crunch. After casting an ability, Crunch amplifies his next basic attack to deal damage and magic damage, bonus magical damage, and reduce his current cooldown to 1 second. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I could be wrong in reading these, but I'm just reading it how it looks, because this red thing is the icon for physical and this is the magic. So, alright, his basic attack is his punch, because he's a punch boy. Now we're gonna start with his ultimate, because that You'll see as we give this. Basically, Crunch's ultimate is a recast of his previous skill, which and then empowers the previous skill, which adds an additional effect. So we're gonna start with that, and then we will go, you know, continue. So his ultimate ability is called Recrunch. Passive. Every third basic attack or ability hit against heroes or monsters heals Crunch for XYZ physical and magical damage. Passive. Every third ability used will be empowered if used within 10 seconds. Active. Repeat the last basic ability used. Basic ability. Right Crunch. Crunch jabs dealing XYZ physical and magical damage to all nearby enemies, slowing them by 60% for 1.2 seconds. Empowered. Uppercut nearby enemies, knocking them up for 1.2 seconds. Left Crunch. Crunch swings dealing XYZ physical and magical damage to the first enemy hit and 80% to subsequent targets. Empowered. Damage is dealt as true damage and deals 100% to subsequent targets. Forward Crunch. Dash forward dealing XYZ physical and magical damage, colliding with an enemy hero an enemy hero stops Crunch and stuns them for 0.25 seconds. Empowered. Dash an extended distance, pushing enemy heroes on contact. And that is your Crunchy Boy, Crunch, the Punchy Boy. Now, Fangy Boy. That's what I call him, Fangy Boy. Fangamao. 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 He's a Fangy Boy. Alright. His passive. Upon... It's called Persistent Strike. But upon not dealing or receiving damage for 3 seconds, Fang Mao's next basic attack is enhanced dealing percentage physical plus 8% of the target's current health as bonus physical damage. Resets on takedown. I'm just gonna avoid it. I'm just gonna avoid the basic attack from now on, because you get the idea. Reaping Dash. Dash forward, dealing XYZ physical damage to all enemies in Fang Mao's path and in small area around the target location. The next ability is called Safeguard. Gains XYZ 100 plus physical damage shield for 2.5 seconds. Fang Mao gains 15 plus 25% physical percentage movement speed while the shield holds. There you go. I wasn't sure how to read that for a second. That's why I stopped. Because, like I said, this red shit is reading off as physical, so I'm reading it as physical. But then I read it in my head, it didn't make sense. So the next ability is Fang Mao swings his glaive. Hamstring. Fang Mao swings his glaive, dealing XYZ physical damage to all enemies around him, slowing them by 30%. For 1 second, dealing damage to an enemy hero with Hamstring reduces the current cooldown of Reaping Dash by 25%, which is this. His ultimate. Fang Mao slams his blade into the ground, dealing XYZ physical plus 80% physical damage to all enemies in the area. If an enemy is below XYZ plus 100% physical damage plus 250 health, execute them. So basically, if they're, I really don't understand how to read that. To be honest, I would have just, if I'm reading it, if I'm thinking about it wrong, I would have just put the 100 to 300, you know. But yeah, I'm probably reading it wrong. Upon executing an enemy hero, Earthshatter may be recast within 12 seconds at no cost. So, again, with the League reference, if you're coming from League, think of Darius and his ultimate, Guillotine. Gruxy, the giant rhino. Passive, Bloodlust. Grux basic attacks apply a bleed on hit, dealing 5 plus 10% physical damage over 5 seconds, stacking up to 6 times. Applying maximum Bloodlust stacks to an enemy hero grants Grux 10% Omni-Vamp for 5 seconds, which is basically lifesteal. Double Pain. Using both weapons, Grux cleaves all enemies in front of him, dealing XYZ plus 110 physical damage. Double Pain applies on-hit effects twice. Smash and Grab. Smash the ground, sending forth a shockwave that pulls all enemies in its path towards Grux, dealing XYZ plus 70% physical damage and stunning them for 0.5 seconds. Crush. Lunge forward a short distance before uppercutting nearby enemies, dealing XYZ plus 80% physical damage and knocking them up for 0.75 seconds. Colliding with enemy heroes or monsters causes Grux to strike on impact. Ultimate ability, Warlord's Challenge. Grux slams his clubs together, stunning all nearby enemies heroes for 0.5 seconds. For the next XYZ seconds, Grux gains XYZ attack speed and empowers his attacks against enemy heroes to repeatedly steal XYZ physical power on hit, returning after 4 seconds. Kalari, the annoying bitch.
Don't judge me.
I hate Kalari, okay? I freaking hate her. She is so freaking annoying. Anytime you see a Kalari in a game, anytime you hear a quadra kill, double kill, triple kill, anytime an enemy team is being fed, it's always a fucking Kalari. Or a Chimera. So, or a Countess. And they're super fucking annoying! Anyways. Alright, passive. Shadow Dance. Kalari can jump up to 2 additional times while mid-air, thrusting her in the direction of movement. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of, not plenty, but I'm sure there's a League reference that's absent mine right now, but it's basically just a double jump. That's literally all it is. It's a double jump. It's a really high double jump, but that's it. Crippling Dagger. Throw a dagger, dealing XYZ plus 90% physical damage and applying a 20% slow from 1 second. Monsters receive 80 additional damage. The max charge is 2, meaning you have 2 daggers to stick them in their booty. Shadow Walk. Now this is a stealth ability. This is the only character, I believe, who has a stealth ability at the moment. And it's not perma-stealth either, so it's not like Dota's perma-stealth. Alright, or Twitch's. I mean, no, Twitch doesn't have perma-stealth. Nobody in League has perma-stealth, I believe. It's just Dota. So, after 1.5 seconds, because there's a casting time. So, like, just, you cast it and it's like a delay. It doesn't go off until like 1.5 seconds. After 1.5 seconds after casting, Kalari enters camouflage, hiding from vision and moving 20% faster for XYZ seconds. Her next basic attack in this state deals XYZ plus 30% bonus physical damage. Nearby enemy heroes and wards reveal Kalari attacking ends camouflage instantly. Now the question you're asking, it's in your mind. How good is the camouflage? It's really fucking good. To the point where you cannot see her, period. You are not gonna see her unless she is right up on your ass. Like you're not gonna see her. Like, it's impossible. She's taken out of your vision until he hits a ward, or she's right up on you. And then to make it easier, because she's still transparent even when you can see her, but it does make it a little bit harder to see her still. But they made it easier by putting an exclamation point over her head when she gets outed, so you don't just miss her. So if you see someone coming at you, you see like a little ghost, and then you see an exclamation point on top of their head. NANI? Run your ass. Alright. Death Mark. Empowers Kalari's next attack within 5 seconds to mark the first enemy hero or monster hit, increasing her damage against them by 15%. After 3 seconds, the mark detonates, dealing XYZ plus 8 plus 4 Physical damage. Again, I don't know how to read that. Percentage of the target's missing health as true damage and granting Kalari 50% decaying movement speed for 3 seconds. Guillotine. No, not that guillotine. After a brief delay, Kalari dashes forward, cutting through all enemies in her path, dealing XYZ plus XYZ physical damage. There you go. Chimera! Spirit Regeneration. Damaging enemy heroes and monsters with basic attacks or abilities grants Chimera 0.7 health regeneration for 2.5 seconds, stacking up to 30 times. Hero kills grants 10 stacks instantly. Chimera gains 10% movement speed while above 15 stacks. Ambush. Leap to an enemy hero or monster, dealing XYZ plus 80% physical damage and slowing them by 30% for 1.5 seconds. Deals up to 2 times damage based on the target's missing health. Grants 3 spirit regeneration stacks on hit. Unleash. Unleash Chimera's primal spirit for 3 seconds, granting him maximum attack speed for 5 successful attacks. Each basic attack deals XYZ plus 35% physical damage and cleaves nearby enemies for 50% damage. Invigorate. Chimera instantly cleanses all debuffs and heals himself for XYZ percentage of his maximum health plus 1.5 times current health regeneration. I know that's a lot of percentages and numbers and equations, I know. Gaming is so hard nowadays. It's a fucking math game and I just don't play a character! Cleansing grants crowd control immunity for 0.5 seconds. Ultimate ability is Cull. After a brief channel, Chimera slices all enemies in front of him, stunning them for 1.25 seconds and dealing XYZ plus 160% physical damage over 6 hits. Grants 5 spirit regeneration stacks for each enemy hero hit. Rampage. I know a certain blonde that loves this character. A passive, King of the Jungle. Rampage gains 20% attack speed and 0.35% maximum health regeneration while in the jungle. The health regeneration is 4 times stronger out of combat. Pounce. Alternate ability. Leap forward before slamming down to the ground, dealing XYZ plus 10% health physical damage to nearby enemies. The leap can be cancelled early by basic attacking. Behemoth range increases by 65%. So, after saying that, this is gonna be another crunch situation where his ultimate greatly affects the rest of his skills. So we're gonna continue with the ultimate ability next. Behemoth. Become enraged, growing in size.
Hey, phrasing!
And altering Rampage's abilities for XYZ seconds. During this time, he gains XYZ maximum health. While Behemoth is active, Rampage gains the effects of King of the Jungle, and its health regeneration is multiplied by a factor of 4 times. Isn't that amazing? Rumble. Pound the ground with each fist, dealing XYZ plus 60% physical damage over 2 hits to nearby enemies and slowing them by 20% for 1.25 seconds. The Behemoth effect is the cooldown is decreased by a 50%. Boulder throw. Rip a boulder from the earth and carry it for up to 5 seconds. Rampage can throw the boulder, dealing XYZ plus 80% magical damage to all enemies in its path, stunning them for XYZ seconds. The boulder shatters on contact with enemy heroes. The Behemoth effect is it allows him to throw the boulder instantly. Sevi Boy! Sevrog. No, he's not from Lord of the Rings, although he rather resembles it. His passive is Reaper of Souls. No, he's not Shang Tsung. It's different IP, alright? Focus. Sevrog gains souls when he kills an enemy with an ability. Each soul grants 2 bonus health and 0.5 additional siphon damage. Upon reaching XYZ Soul, Sevarog gains XYZ bonus health and 10 additional siphon damage. Phantom Rush. Dash forward, gliding through any enemy heroes in Sevarog's path. Siphon. Strike forward with a special hand, dealing XYZ plus 80% plus 50% magical damage to all enemies in front of Sevarog. Siphon heals Sevarog for 15% of the damage dealt to minions and monsters, and increasing to 25% against enemy heroes. Subjugate. Calls down a miasma of dark energy, dealing XYZ plus 50% magical damage to all enemies in the area and rooting them for 1.25 seconds. When the root expires, the targets will be slowed by 20% for 0.75 seconds. Ultimate ability, Colossal Blow. Deliver a heavy blow from Sevarog's hammer, dealing XYZ plus 60% magical damage to all enemies in front of him. Enemy heroes struck by the blow are knocked back, sending them flying. So, basically, think of a AoE version of Poppy's ultimate from League of Legends. Okay. I thought maybe Steel and Ranger could do it, but you don't really see them in the jungle. So, with that being said, we're going to move on to some gameplay. Okay, so this is basically the jungle, right? So you go into the jungle area, you got mobs right here, you got buffs right here, and my job is to stay here, level up until I get big. And I'm supposed to help out middle, left, and right lane. But I believe that the solo lane, which is the left side here, is lower priority because solo lane is meant to be a solo lane. You're supposed to be self-sufficient. So, unless they need help, I'm going to be focusing on middle and right lane during this gameplay. Show you some early gameplay and then hopefully some decent end game. No promises.
Your power grows.
I don't really know the rotation, so because I'm not very good at jungle, so I'm just doing what I think is good. But there is a specific rotation you're supposed to start. This is why I said I don't really plan to go on in-depth details because I'm not entirely sure about it. If this was League, I could tell you the rotation, but not here. Alright. I might go over here because it's looking like an easy kill here in a second. Oh, whoops, I didn't see that.
First blood.
Ah, he's doing alright. Yeah, he's doing alright. Ah, he blinked.
Your skill rises.
Round 2. Everybody keeps blinking. God damn it. Yeah.
An ally has perished.
Damn, that sucks. I got that.